Hi and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is a monthly reading for the air sign Aquarius for May 2025. For the reading, I'm using the Pride Tarot deck. I'll be pulling one oracle card from the Sacred Travelers deck, and then if I need to clarify, I'll use the Zillich Tarot deck. Just a reminder, these are general readings. The messages may or may not resonate. I encourage you to watch not just your sun sign, but also your moon and rising video. If you do enjoy the video today, please consider giving it a thumbs up and potentially subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. All right, here we go. So you begin with, at the center of the spread, the King of Cups. This is water energy. You could be dealing with an older water sign individual. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio could be the energy that you are taking on this month. But the suit of cups, it's the suit of water. So it has to do with our feelings, emotions, relationships. And, you know, as the king, he has mastered his suit. So he is very intuitive. He's very emotionally available. He's very, open with his emotions and feelings. So emotions and feelings could be center for you this month. And you have, this card keeps coming out for a number of the signs. So I would definitely encourage you to watch your moon and rising videos as well. Six of Wands, this is what could help or hinder. This is a card of victory, right? It's fire energy, so it has to do with the work that we do. It's also our drive, ambition, passion, determination. And in this deck, obviously, it's depicted a little differently, but traditional tarot deck has the warrior returning from battle, wearing the laurel wreath, representing a victory. So there's some type of victory at hand. In the deep past, foundation of the spread, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is financial abundance, right? Suit of Pentacles has to do with, material possessions, things here in the material, in the earthly realm. It's earth energy, so it could be dealing with an earth sign individual, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, but it's the 10 as the 10 of this particular suit. It's like the ultimate in the suit of Pentacles. So in financial stability, abundance, right? It's the happily ever after card, the happy home and family card. In the recent past, you have Temperance. This is number 14 of the major arcana. It's associated with the sign of Sagittarius, so fire energy, and it's all about moderation and balance, right? And finding that balance in your life, right? So it's sort of different than or kind of the opposite to the Devil card, where everything is out of balance, right? It's sort of in excess. This is all of the everything in moderation, everything in balance. So there's a focus on regaining balance, returning to your life in the recent past. Crowning your reading, you have beautiful. This is number 17 of the major arcana, the Star. So this is the, the Wish Upon a Star card. So setting your intentions, putting the intentions out into the universe, and then, trusting that the universe will provide, the universe will, will grant those wishes. The Star is also associated with, your own sign, Aquarius. So this could just be you coming in very strongly, right? You showing up here in your reading, but there's wish fulfillment, which is, crowning you. So message from your higher self. Beautiful. You have in the near future, and we'll clarify, don't worry. We have the Tower. This is number 16 of the major arcana. And interesting because it goes, 17 down to 16, and the Tower does come immediately before the Star in the major arcana. The Tower, a lot of times people are, they don't like seeing the Tower come out in a reading because it's sort of frightening. Obviously, you can see fire springing from the top of the Tower, but, the Tower really represents something in your life which, probably wasn't very stable to begin with, coming to an end, right? So crumbling to the ground, but it clears the path for, because if we go back to, this would come before the Star card, if we were going in progression, comes before some type of, positive, this wish fulfillment coming in. So it's about knowing how to or first knowing how to handle this tower situation. So when something, because throughout our lifetimes, obviously, we're faced with a number of different tower situations. Some can be, tower situations to a lesser or a greater degree, but it's all about how we approach or how we deal with the tower situation, right? That's really what's the kind of the lesson that we learn from the towers. How do we deal with that situation, and how do we move on? But it could be something unexpected coming in, and sometimes I like to give the example of, with a job, you might find out that, all of a sudden you're being made redundant, which is obviously a big shock. You have to sort of shakes you, right? Shakes your foundation. You have to come up with a new way to make money. But you might have not really been that happy in the job. You might have been looking for another job for quite a while now, but, just staying put because nothing else has come up yet. So this is the moment that it's like, no, okay, you no longer have a job. There is no, maybe I'll stay, maybe I'll go. Now you just need to move on. And so it kind of pushes you in possibly a new direction. So it's all about how you approach, right, the tower moment, this tower situation. The tower is associated with fire sign of Aries. So just fire energy there. You have quite a few major arcanas coming in, actually. You appear as the Hangman, and the Hangman, it's again major arcana, but it has to do with needing to see a situation from a different vantage point. Obviously, this person, if they were right side up, right, they would not be able to see a situation, view it in the same way that they can being upside down. So it's gaining this clarity of mind, having this sort of this moment, they're suspended. So it's this moment of taking this time to view, to gain all the information, view a situation. Can also represent a delay, so a delay in something happening. We'll keep going here. Again, we'll clarify towards the end. All right, you have surrounding you in your environment the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles can represent like stagnant energy surrounding the way that you earn money. So there's something to do with something to do with your finances, how you earn your money here. And with this being in your environment, you might be needing to put a budget into place, right? Needing to follow a budget more strictly than you have in the past because of this tower moment. You have another major arcana in your hopes and fears. This is the Hermit. Number 9 of the major arcanas associated with the earth sign of Virgo. And the Hermit is a very spiritual energy, right? The Hermit goes up into the the mountains, out into the wilderness to retreat, to take that time that they need to really reflect on things, right? To gain that spiritual guidance, knowledge, in order to make a decision. So it's, taking time out, gaining this new perspective, going back to the Hangman. And then you leave the month with the Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups can be, you see there are many different options here. So each of these cups represents, something that this person would find, that they would like, that, there's love in one cup, we have riches in another cup, we have, there's a victory in another cup. So there's many different, each cup offers many different things, or, a particular thing to this person. But until they actually choose that Holy Grail, the Ace of Cups, until they actually pick one, these are all just fantasies, sort of up in the air. So when the Seven of Cups shows up in a reading, there's a need to focus on one of the cups, and that's the one that's going to be your Ace of Cups, and that's what you're going to go after. So, it's almost being spoiled for choice. It can show up when you are on the dating front, when you're on a lot of different dating signs and, seeing all the different people on the dating signs. This can also be when you are looking on job sites and there's, all these different jobs and thinking about this one might be nice, that one might be nice. But until you actually pick one and apply for it, they're all just, they're sort of fantasy up in the air. So I need to pick one, right, and bring it down into reality. You have bottom of the deck. So this is the overall energy. So you have another 10. So you have 2 10s. And this is the 10 of Swords. And, this is one of the more challenging cards in the deck are also the Tower, also the Nine of Swords. But, you know, the Ten of Swords, I like seeing this one more than the Nine because it does represent an ending, right? Tens in the Tarot, they are, in the case of the Ten of Pentacles, it's like the culmination, it's the ultimate in that particular suit, or it represents an ending because after this Ten of Swords, it would go back to the Ace of Swords, which is the new beginnings, right? The blessing, brand new cycle starting. So what is, you know, very obvious for this month, it's a month of endings for you, right? So this is one particularly difficult chapter in your life coming to an end, and then a new cycle starting up. And, you know, I mean, that just comes through with this Ten of Swords, with the Tower. Yeah, and there could have been a delay as far as, you know, this Tower moment, depending on when you're watching the video. Some of you might have already experienced this Tower moment. Others might be still kind of going through it, or it might be coming in for others. But there's, you know, there is a delay surrounding whatever this, you know, movement on might be. And, you know, going off of this second, this would be sort of the latter half of the month. A choice there's a choice to be made, a possible delay in something to do with, you know, this Tower moment, because you just immediately gone through it here, and then an ending. So let's go ahead, before we move on with the Oracle card message, I'm gonna clarify some of the cards here. So Spirit, please clarify, what is the Ten of Swords? Please clarify the Ten of Swords for Aquarius. Okay, we're going to shuffle, and then we'll go through and clarify the cards as needed. So we have, clarifying the Ten of Swords, we have the Prince of Cups. This would be the Knight of Cups. Yeah, so it's an ending, but this Prince of Cups or Knight of Cups brings in an offer, right? And this is typically, can be an offer of love. It can be an offer that brings you great joy or happiness, even if it's, you know, sort of a new job offer or something along those lines, is one that's going to be very in tune with, you know, really what you want. Like I was saying with this Tower, where you might have been in a job for quite a while, you know, applying, but not really, you know, wanting to leave, but kind of not doing so. So this is like this offer coming in. So it's an offer that's going to bring you happiness. And, you know, with it clarifying this Ten of Swords, there's an ending to a cycle. And, you know, whatever this new phase is that's going to be starting up, it's definitely going to be more in line. It's going to bring you more balance, right? Going back to the this Temperance card, it's going to bring a greater sense of balance into your life. Clarifying the Tower, we have the Emperor. So, you know, it could have to do with, with the place of your place of work. I mean, the Emperor can be dealing with large institutions, so legal institutions, you know, the government, can be like military sort of institutions, like the institution of the military, can be large, like school systems, university systems. It can be also, the Emperor sometimes shows up when you're, you know, signing contracts, things along those lines. So yeah, I do feel that, I mean, it's the same feeling that I had off of the Tower when it showed up, is that there's an ending to where, could be where you're working, right? Something comes to an end quite quickly there. Clarifying the Seven of Cups. We have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, so, you know, you have the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So there's a new offer coming in here, right? And it's what I was saying with this Seven of Cups, until you actually choose one, right? And I did mention the Holy Grail, the Ace of Cups. Until you actually choose that, they're all just up in the sky. There's a need to focus your energies, right? Focus your attention on this one offer, on the one job offer, on, you know, however this plays out into your life. But, you know, there's a new cycle coming in. It's going to bring you greater joy and happiness. It could happen quite quickly with this Tower moment, quite unexpected. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, you have the stars, you're, so crowning the reading here. So it's wish fulfillment. So I feel like you have wished for this change, this new cycle, this new offer. You've wished for it for quite a while. Let's go ahead and clarify with another oracle card. So from the Sacred Traveler deck, one additional message for Aquarius. Okay, we had 2 cards flip over, so we'll look at both of them. We have answering the call, the time is now, and infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. Yeah, definitely. So timing, right, is definitely a key. And then abundance. So I won't read all of the messages from the guidebook because there are 2 cards there, but let me pick out the main messages for each. So answering the card, I think it's pretty clear, as the description says, the time is now. So it says, you have been called. The sacred journey always starts with a call. You might feel ready, or you might be uncertain and not willing, but when you receive the call, you must respond. If you've been waiting for your life to turn out, the waiting is over. If you've been hoping for a sign, this is it. Right now, you've been called. A gateway is opening for communication from the spirit realms. You might not know what the future brings, but you do know it's time to act and time to go forward. Yeah, and it's just basically the main message here is to move forward, right? Then just need to move forward, following signs, and then trust, right? Trust, follow the signs. There will be many. And the other one is infinite abundance, which says, everything is blossoming and bearing fruit now. Open yourself to receive. It's not time to passively wait for prosperity to fall into your lap. Life goes in cycles. There are times when fields lay fallow, and there are times of harvest. Right now, you are moving forward towards a harvest time to receive an outpouring of money, energy, time, or love. Yeah, with this Ace of Cups, right? And this one cycle ending here with this 10 of Swords, definitely. It's time for you to give deeply and fully of who you are and what you have. For the more you truly give, the more you receive. And focus on being grateful. So gratitude for what you already have, and your abundance will. Yeah, so it's all about moving forward, right? There's a timing situation here with the Tower and the Hangman, and then abundance coming in and cycles coming to an end. So yeah, it looks like it will be an interesting month, possibly with some unexpected events, but ultimately pushing you in the right direction. So I hope the messages have helped. I thank you for joining me today. Look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light. Bye for now.